Hi grade 8s. I'm just going to quickly review how to find the greatest common factor and the lowest common multiple of two numbers, any given numbers that we might be asked. I'm going to give you one example and explain as we go. So for example, if our two numbers were going to be, let's look, say 38 and 42. To find our greatest common factor, first of all, greatest common factor, we have to find three things. We have to find our greatest common factor. So we start off with the factors. We have to find our factors, then see what's in common, and then look for the greatest amount of the greatest number we can make using those common factors. So let's have a look at 38 first. In order to get the factors for 38, we need to do our factor tree to get our prime factorization. So remembering, prime factorization means we break down 38 into its prime factors. So let's do that. First one is going to be, let's say, 19 times 2. And straight away we can see, well, 19 is a prime number, so we can stop there, and 2 is a prime number, so we can stop there. Let's break down 42. We can say that 21 times 2 will give us 42, but then 21 can break down into 3 and 7. So we can see that our factors are, let's do our table. And write out our factors for 38 and 42. 38 and 42. 38 we have 19 and 2. And then for 42 we have 3, 7 and 2. So we'll write 3, 7, but our 2 is also found in 38. So that's a common factor. So we can write our 2. Well, let's line it up under the other 2. So now when we look at our table, we can see that our common factors are going to be the ones that's lined up, which in this case is 2. So our greatest common factor for these two examples are going to be 2. Now to find the lowest common multiple, pretty much what we do is we take, let me just change the color, we look at our two sets of factors and we'll just take one number from each of them. So let's have a look at what I mean by that is we take our 19 and we move it here. We have 2's in this column. We only use 1. So we have a 2 there. We have a 3 in this one, so we write 3, and we also have a 7 in this one. And our lowest common multiple can be found by multiplying all those factors together. So when we multiply those factors together, we get a number, a product, that 38 and 42 are both factors of, and it's the lowest product that both of them go into. So if we do our calculations, we get 19 times 2 times 3 times 7 equals 798. So the lowest number, the lowest multiple that 38 and 42 can go into is 798. So that's just a quick example. Let's look at another one. Might be a little bit trickier. So if we have, say, 36 and let's look at 48. We want to find our greatest common factor and our lowest common multiple. Let's do 36 first. It breaks into 9 times 4, 3 times 3, and 2 times 2. And 48 breaks into, let's do 12 times 4, 2 times 2, 6 times 2, and then 3 times 2. This one is a little trickier because we've got a lot of common factors here. So let's do out our table to keep things nice and simplified. Okay, now we'll put in 36 and 48. So let's line out 36, its prime factors. We've got 3, 3, 2, and 2. And now let's look at our 48. We've got a 3, which we have already. We have a 2, which we have already. We have another 2, which we have already. And then we've got 2 more 2s, but we don't have any more in common, so we can just write them in their own space. Now, let's look and see what our greatest common factor is. We notice, let's see, that the 3s they have in common, the 2s they have in common, and the 2s they have in common. So our greatest common factor is going to be 3 times 2 times 2. And if we calculate that, that's going to be 12. So it's a good example. We know that now 12 is the greatest number, the greatest factor that goes into both 36 and 48. To find out what the lowest common multiple would be, let's just take this part out. We're going to look at, well, what are the prime numbers down here that we have? And we take one from each of the ones that are duplicated and we'll multiply them together. So let's have a look, and it's better to put words into action. So let's see. We have a 3 from here. We also have a 3 from here. A 2, a 2, a 2 from here, and a 2 from here. And our lowest common multiple is found by multiplying all of those together. I'm running out of space. So when you multiply 3 by 3 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, we get, let's look, 3 times 3 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 equals 144. So our lowest common multiple is going to be 144. And that's the lowest number that the product of both 36 and 48 can go into. I hope you enjoyed this quick review on prime factor trees, prime factorization, greatest common factor, and lowest common multiple. Good luck. Remember, put maybe one of these examples into your study sheet. Make sure you can do them, and then you'll have no problem at all when it comes time to our assessment. Good luck.